Testing 1 2 1 2. How about testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Right. Testing 1 2 1 2. Right there. Okay.
Palisades High School is site tonight for Colonial League field hockey action. The Saucon Valley Panthers with a record of 6-3, 6-3-1 overall, taking on the Pirates from Palisades. They check in with a record of 6-4 and 8-5 overall. Hi and welcome everyone. Al DeCarlo alongside Gemma Amato, a senior, and Audrey Sayer, a senior. And welcome to PSD TV. Glad you could join us here for this matchup. And girls, as we bring you in, and Gemma, I'll start with you. First things first. Playoffs start next week. However, this is like a playoff game because there's a lot on the line tonight. There's a lot on the line tonight, so exciting time to be out here tonight for field hockey.
Yeah, it is an exciting time for parents and students to be here today.
Audrey, obviously, an opportunity to, get a chance to see a field hockey game. And what's different when it comes to like a playoff atmosphere type when there's a lot more on the line?
I feel like it's more stressful for the players just because there's more on the plate for them to achieve and go for as a team.
Take a look at the keys of the game for Saucon Valley. Strong transition game, communication, and win the 50-50 balls. And for Palisades, good communication, move the ball and stay low to some drives. And we will get your starters for you as well as we're just underway here from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Take a good look at your starting lineups here. Engelhart, Bruchak, Landon, Shimko, Leidick, Anthony, Kane, Marker, Kramer, Weeder, and Albano. And on the other side for Palisades, they will go with Amato, Balliot, Carey, Turkel, Bank, Collenbach, Day, O'Donnell, Magditch, and they will start things off with Alicia Donato in goal. And quickly underway, and how important, and you guys both played field hockey, how important is the tempo, especially in the first, 3 minutes of the game of really each quarter, when you start up, Gemma?
It's very important to start strong. Like right now, the other team already has a corner, so it's definitely not a good thing.
This one coming across. Again, just underway here from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Palisades, the aggressor here early on. And there are playoff implications in this game, and we'll talk about them throughout as we get things underway. This controlled here at midfield, and a good job of taking that one away by Danielle Kallenbach. Kim Donato, the first-year head coach. MK Amdal in her second year. Next stoppage, we'll take a look at the players to watch in this game. Again, when you're at this part of the year where it's the end of the regular season, you're getting ready for the postseason, you kind of have your team ready to go moving through. Here's Morgan Magditch. Now, what you guys are doing today is Morgan, Caitlin, and Sammy, the three of them were the first three, I was going to say players because they're on the field, first three students at Palisades to take part in our live stream back in 2018, and now we're actually doing their game. We always say it's a little bit different, but being behind the mic, nerves, no nerves, what's going through you here? Because I'm going to ask you the same question in the second half because you guys will adapt as you go, Audrey.
It's not that nerve-wracking, but
It's like talking to your friends. It's the same thing. And I talk a lot, so it'll be easier for you guys anyway as you go. Just underway from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium, about 3 minutes in. They'll play 4 15-minute quarters. And it's a possibility of these two teams meeting again when the postseason gets underway next week. And that happened a year ago. Last year, Saucon Valley won here at Palisades in overtime, then won at Saucon Valley, and then won in the first round of the Colonial League tournament. So, Gemma, what are you seeing here early on? Again, it's been back and forth. I mean, no real chances or opportunities for either team. Do you talk about a feeling out period in the first few minutes?
Yeah, it's going pretty back and forth. It seems like an equally matched game. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
Far side of the field. Picked up and controlled. And now taken once again here as Palisades try to get something going. Here's Magditch. Tries to cross that one, no one there, and that one taken away. And they will award that to Saucon Valley. Started a live streaming here in 2018. We've had more than 20 different students take part in the announcing. I think we're up right around 24 and 25, if I'm not mistaken. So, and we have a list of everyone that's taken part. Bottom part of the field and taken. And that one knocked away. Good job here by Palisades to avoid any opportunities coming their way by Saucon Valley and the Panthers. And now that will be outside by Angelina Day. Inside 10 minutes. Opening quarter of play. I thank Brian Gilbert, Rich Heffernan, Bridget O'Connell for the live streaming program and putting this into the works once again. And when we get our next stoppage, we'll look at the players to watch. As this one goes near side. A chance in front. Take a look at the players to watch. And Katie Marker already has 12 goals and 2 assists this year. And for Morgan Magditch, 8 goals and 5 assists. Again, we talked about the 2 different coaches. One in their first year, one in their second year. Audrey, when you have the corners, you know, they always say, you know, I know watching field hockey for years, I've been doing this for a long time. Every corner has a hole and all that stuff. You know, how important is it to get, you know, your corners and get yourself in position to score?
I think corners are important just because you have a higher chance of scoring because most of your team is down there, but you also have to be more offensive because the other team's defense is down there as well.
Now, when you guys both played offense or defense, where did you guys play, Gemma?
I did a little bit of midfield, a little bit of like up top. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I never really played defense.
Yeah, I was a mid, but I played more defense mid. So.
Okay. Still looking for our first goal. 7 minutes in. Keep this one in play, and then taken there by by Morgan Magditch. Magditch will play that one back, and they'll get back to Magditch. And the ball has touched Magditch's stick, you know, a number of times. Obviously, when you're one of the leading scorers on the team, you know, you want her to get the opportunities. Taken near side by Casey Bruchak. And Palisades right back on the attack once again. This one dribbles through. A chance there. That one just wide of the net. First opportunity comes with about 6:51 on the clock. Gemma, what did you see there?
That was definitely a good save by the goalie. I feel like I don't really see many field hockey goalies on the ground as much as soccer. It's more of them kicking it with their foot. So that definitely looked good.
Nice crowd on hand here for a Wednesday night with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. This one will field it back to Kerry Lannon. Lannon tries to get around the defense. Saucon Valley again on the attack. Picked up here by Kate Leidick. Good job defensively. Knocked that one away, and here comes Palisades the other way. Try to send up to Magdish. This way it could be dangerous. Got a lot of open field here. And that one taken right back by Leah Kramer. Gemma, when early part we talked about the feeling out and whatever. Now you're like, 8 minutes into the game, 7 minutes into the game. Have you seen anything different from both teams? I know, they always say in the first goal things obviously change either way, but have you seen anything differently from both teams here in the last 3-4 minutes?
It still seems like both teams are dominating. It seems very equal. They've been having like the possession the same amount of the time. Yeah.
So 4:37 on the clock here in the opening quarter. So how I gathered this, and I know I could be wrong, Brian Gilbert's all over it, but try to figure this out. And I wrote it down, and now I don't know where I put it. It's probably in your notes and not mine. If Palisades wins tonight, they get in the Colonial League tournament. Of course, the Colonial League tournament is 6 teams. 2 will get first-round byes, and the other 4 will play the wild card games. A chance here for Palisades, and then we get a whistle. And expected to start on Tuesday, so a win gets them into the 6-team tournament. A loss, however, things can start changing a little bit because there's other teams that have yet to play or trying to make a makeup game. Saucon Valley and Southern Lehigh, their game is expected to be made up already. Also, Catasauqua and Moravian Academy, that's a possibility of being made up. So all of a sudden you have 7 teams vying for 6 spots in the Colonial League tournament. First things first, if you're Palisades, you want to see if you can pull out the victory and not have to worry about everything else in between. I think, you always say, and coaches always tell you that, you can, control your own chance. Here's a chance, speaking of that, an opportunity for Palisades, and there will be a first good shot on net. Albano steers that one away. Still in the attack. Good job defensively by Saucon Valley, and picked up there momentarily by Kerry Lannon. Give it and take it away. And sometimes in these games, you can tell when you have 2 good teams going up against each other, and you don't want to be the first team that makes a mistake. At the same time, you want to really pound. And when you guys play the same thing, if you get a shot on, you want to be there for a rebound, right? Taken there by Engelhardt. Engelhardt still with it. Good job of making her way. Has some space to the outside, and we'll try to deliver that way. But recovered here by the Pirates. It's a great night to be outside. Final minute and 50 seconds of the first quarter. And that rule change came, I believe it was a year ago, where they went from 2 halves to 4 quarters. Do you prefer the 2 halves or do you prefer 4 quarters? Does it make a difference when you guys are playing?
Well, we both played when it was still 2 halves. I definitely think the 4 quarters helps you get like a break so you're not playing as long, but I like the way that the 2 halves like kept the momentum going. So if you were doing good like we are right now, you can continue that for longer.
Audrey, you see it, same question for you. I mean, obviously, when you get that opportunity to do 4 quarters, we'll see at the end of this quarter, you're going to get a 2-minute break, so you get a chance to recompose yourself a little bit. Chance here for Saucon Valley. That one knocked away. It's still sitting there. This is where dangerous opportunity. Good job here by Palisades to clear traffic and move it forward. Final 36 seconds of the opening quarter. That's where you don't want to lose possession, as they just did right there in the final 15 seconds. Knocked away and picked up briefly by Casey Bruchak. Over to Morgan Magditch. Final 5 seconds of the opening quarter, scoreless. As the horn sounds, one complete here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium, 0-0. You're watching Palisades and Saucon Valley on PSD TV. Back after this. We are back here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium, Al DiCarlo, alongside Gemma Amato and Audrey Sayer, both seniors here at Palisades High School. Glad you could join us for a live stream here on PSD TV. Started in the fall of 2018. Now 25 different students taking part in the announcing, and then we also have a bunch of students also taking part in the, on the field camera, the cameras, the graphics, and everything in between. Take a look at these two teams, where they're at right now. And again, you get down to the bottom and you just see, all right, there's only one game left. Yeah, because the playoffs start. There's a non-league game coming up for Palisades. But if you look at this and you look at the things there, you kind of basically say, okay, we see the two teams where they're at, and now you just get ready for the, for the postseason and see where you're going to be. Gemma, thoughts of the first quarter? Again, I always go with that feeling out, kind of thing. But what did you see? What did you take out of the first quarter from both teams?
I think we definitely got 2 good shots on goal. We just need to connect one. They both looked really good. It was definitely 50-50 possession. It seemed like both teams had the ball a lot, and it just looked all around pretty good and evenly matched.
Yeah, it was also pretty offensive and defensive as well.
Well, you look at both teams, and you start out here in the second, and again, you mentioned it before about when you guys played, it was one half, so you're going longer, you're going a bigger stretch, you're doing it a little bit differently. Where here you get that 2-minute break, and in the beginning when we talk about you want to take the momentum in the first 3 minutes of a half or a quarter, and the last 3 minutes. Now you get a chance to do it really 8 times, at the beginning and the end. So it does make the game a little bit different. To come out and get a spark. In that huddle, in the timeouts, what are the coaches telling their players, Audrey? What do you think they're telling your players? How's that?
Well, they could be telling them to be more offensive, even though, they already are. But, passing more, since I have seen them keeping the ball to themselves. But they also have been passing, but I feel like they could be passing more.
Yeah, I I definitely like to see a lot the long passes and the offensive players running onto it, and that's definitely one thing I know coaches like in field hockey because it's definitely easier to run without the ball than with the ball.
So you like to chase and go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a lot of that when I played.
Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on PSD TV. We are in quarter number 2. Again, there's a playoff implications on the line. They will start the playoffs on Tuesday. Again, that's nothing officially official, but that's what we're hearing is Tuesday. And right now, Southern Lehigh is expected to be the top seed. When we bring in the standings, I'll update those as well. Actually took away that slide, so I'll give you that update as we go. Palisades with a chance. Albano knocks that one away. Interesting tonight as I come to this game and, I see, Morgan, Sammy. Morgan, Sammy Trikel, and Caitlin Shoemaker mentioned, did the broadcasting with us. And last year during field hockey, Angelia Rafalco, she was up in the booth with us as a freshman, and she enjoyed her part up there. Again, it's always nerve-wracking in the beginning when you're not sure what you're doing. You're holding the microphone. You're hanging there. You're like, wait, what am I doing? What's going on over here? Next thing you know, you get to the half. You start to feel a little bit more comfortable, and you're watching the game that you played, you loved, and it's a little bit different that way as you go back. On the other side, Sophie Engelhart, Megan Kane, and Grace Albano are 3 D11 student reporters, so I got a chance to meet up with them as well. This passed up to Magditch and quickly taken away. I don't know possession-wise and what you guys have been seeing, but for the most part, I would say we're right around 50-50. No one has really controlled more. If anything, maybe Palisades has controlled a little bit more, from what I'm seeing. But other than that, there's only been like a shot here and a shot there, by either team. So the Pirates try to send that one in. And you guys talked about it before. If you want to see more passing, and what we're seeing is a pass, a takeaway, a pass, a takeaway, or 2 passes and a takeaway. And that's going to have to change for either team if they're going to put it behind the cage. This one sent up, goes off of the stick of Engelhart. And then they battle with Caitlin Shoemaker. We had a whistle there. Gemma, what did you see on that whistle?
That was a push. I think the refs were both thinking it was a different team member. One ref thought it was Palisades and one ref thought it was Saucon. But we wound up with the ball, so that's good.
Yeah, it seemed that way, that there was different discrepancy. Send it far side to Ashley Amato. Jimmy, you get a chance to not only do this, but you're seeing it from a different vantage point. You get a chance to watch your sister as well. How cool is that?
Yeah, I definitely like it. It's really cool.
The question is, now you're watching it from here. You're not watching it from the stands. You're a little higher above. Now, when you get home, we say, okay, I saw this, this, and this.
Yeah, it seems a lot bigger. It seems like there's a lot more space from up here.
5 minutes into quarter number 2. Standings coming in. Southern Lehigh is 8-0. Bangor at 8-3, along with Northwestern at 8-3. Saucon Valley checks in at 6-3. So those right now are your top 4. Again, the top 6 get in to the league tournament. Palisades is at 6-4, and Wilson's at 6-5. So Wilson kind of on the outskirts looking in because Moravian Academy is at 6-4. and Palmerton's at 7 and 5. So right now, top 5 are Southern Lehigh, Bangor, Northwestern, Saucon Valley, and Palmerton, with Moravian Academy and Palisades battling out for the last spot. But again, things can change because there are games that were scheduled that were not played. Saucon Valley had a COVID issue where their game with with Southern Lehigh was not played, and that game is looking to play because now all of a sudden, because there's other teams affected, you start looking at that and saying, all right, well, how could that change? Well, if Palisades wins today, they would go to 7 and 4. They would tie Palmerton, and Saucon Valley will go to 6 and 4, and they would have the one other game to be played. So Saucon Valley not technically in yet either, if they play that game and then play Southern Lehigh and would lose. So again, those scenarios kind of crazy. You're listening to them. I heard them 3 times already. I think you guys heard them twice, and I'm still confused about what it is. Sometimes I say, all right, let them play, and then let me know Tuesday who the matchups are. It was a shot, and that one almost trickled through and knocked away. Golden opportunity. I don't know if they got a piece of the post or not, but they'll get a corner. Okay, I think this is only the second corner for Palisades, and it comes with just over 8 minutes on the clock. Send it out. Try to pass that one in front. Good job here by Saucon Valley, but it'll be another opportunity here for Palisades. Audrey, Palisades right now putting more pressure than they have really the entire game. This is the momentum that you want to start as a player to get into. Say, all right, we know what we can do. Let's try to move forward. Speaking of forward, hold that thought. That was taken away by Sophie Engelhardt. Engelhardt gets around the defense, and Engelhardt's still with it. She assesses and now will try to feed this one through, and that one knocked away defensively. And it'll be taken here by Palisades. Go with your thought again. Speed-wise, it looks like things are starting to move a little bit quicker too. They battle together on the far side. Ava Balliot. They try to send this one down. And picked up here by Carrie Lennon. All right, Gemma, here you go. Set this up for us, kind of what you want them to do here.
Well, it was kind of expected they were going to pass back because there's a lot of black in the circle right now. But I was looking for a pass back and then a longer ball in to find someone's stick. But it looks like Saucon now has the ball.
Surprised at no score yet. Have you seen anything that would dictate a score, Audrey? I mean, it's been really. Are they play? Is this game tight? How you're looking at it, or is this game still? You're waiting for someone to, score that first goal, and then things will start to open up a little bit.
I would definitely say it's a tight game because both teams are very defensive. So we have great goalies in the goals, and a lot of players are just experienced with getting the ball out of the circle or into the circle.
Speaking of that, chance here for Palisades as that one's centered in, and it looked like it was still on the stick. So we'll get a corner here, penalty corner for, I believe that's Magditch, is it not?
Yeah.
So Morgan Magditch will take it. Send this one back. The Pirates can't get control now. They finally do. The ball trickles, and Albano knocks that one away. A lot more pressure than we're seeing by Palisades than we saw earlier on.
And they definitely are looking to score a goal, and it's very interesting interesting to see what they're going to do with this next corner.
And with 4:33 on the clock, off the penalty corner once again. That's a dangerous spot to be. A chance here for the Pirates. And a great job defensively by Saucon Valley. And it finally knocked that one away and out to Sophie Engelhardt. Pirates trying to maintain possession. Engelhardt will take over and leave for Saucon Valley. You know, interesting that we talked about, where, the scenarios on if they win. One thing we didn't ask, because that one's knocked away by Albano, one thing we didn't ask is if there's a tie, can there be a tie? I don't know if there can be a tie, right?
I think they go into overtime, but I'm not sure how long or how many. But I'm pretty sure they go into overtime.
Yeah, there can be ties too, that's right, because Saucon has to tie this year. So what does the tie do to this playoff scenario? That knocks another thing in, in a different. So final 3 minutes. Gemma, we're in that zone now, the final 3 minutes of the first half, and this is a little bit different. In the end of the quarter, you score, you have a 2 minute span. Here, you would have a 10-minute break. Getting into that locker room, trying to see if you could punch it in here, a big difference.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to come back in the half thinking more offensively because they've been doing very well on defense, I think. They're just not connecting passes on offense and the shots, but I definitely think they can, and they're a good team. So looking forward to a goal in the second half, if not before it ends.
We'll see what happens here. Down to 2:30 on the clock. Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. We'll be back out here on Friday for a huge football game, as we'll have Palisades and Notre Dame. Pirates at 4-1. Their only loss came week 1 to Northwestern. Well, I guess you can't call it week 1, but week 1 for Palisades was Northwestern. They won 4 in a row. And Notre Dame is 5-0. So this place will have their share of fans here. Not like usual, but still fans, a little bit different. The band and the cheerleaders and the atmosphere here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Down to 1:45. Audrey, earlier when we talked about the first quarter into the second quarter, we were saying it's 50-50 time of possession. I think you see it a little bit differently now.
Yeah, I feel like Palisades is very. They have the ball more this quarter.
Yeah, the ball has been on this side for a good chunk of change, especially in the last 6 or 7 minutes. So we wind it down to the final minute. Again, looking for our first score. MK Omdahl in her second year. Kim Donato in her first year for Palisades. We highlighted the 2 players that, I guess when you score 12 goals, you should be highlighted. That's Katie Marker, a senior forward, and Morgan Magdich, only a junior. 8 goals and 5 assists on the season. Final 30 ticks. Chance here for, again, on the open field, an opportunity here for Saucon Valley. 1-on-3, taken there by Engelhardt. And she'll play that one back. And be picked up here by Casey Bruchak. I think there was a whistle prior to them going. So final 7 seconds. So they'll play the penalty corner out. This would be huge here. They play that one in front, taken there by Lannon. And once the Pirates maintain possession, they'll blow the whistle, but right now they have not, and now they have. Good job there by Caitlin Shoemaker to knock that one away. So play that corner again. Good passing. Oh, and that one goes wide. So you get the opportunity to play the penalty corners out before you call the half, correct?
Yeah.
So they had 2 chances there, and realistically, those are the 2 best chances they had the entire first half, and it came in the last, with time expiring, with 10 seconds remaining. You're watching our big matchup here in the Colonial League, Saucon Valley and Panther Valley. Saucon Valley coming into the game at 6-3 in league play. Palisades at 6-4. We're at the half, 0-0 your score. Back after this on PSD TV. We are at the half, 0-0 Saucon Valley and Palisades. Field hockey in the Colonial League. Rich Heffernan, the principal here at Palisades, joining us at the break. And, Rich, always a pleasure to see you. And obviously times are different with everything going on. We're wearing masks, a little bit different. Take us through school first and how school has been, how the students have adapted to, wearing the mask and your teachers and your administrators. It's, everybody's doing it at the same time and everybody's doing it a different way, but everybody's trying to be the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, safe and healthy, and that's what we want to do, keep our students and our faculty and our staff and our community, if we can, safe and healthy and get through this COVID-19. As everybody knows, school reopened for face-to-face instruction on October 5th. We were set to come back in early August, but unfortunately our science wing delayed that a bit, and we did 100% virtual from August 31st until October 5th. And October 5th, about 77% of high school students came back face-to-face, and it was awesome. It was awesome. It was great to have the kids in the building. I think the kids were excited to be in the building, and things are going very well. I compliment our students so much. They've worked with us on the procedures. They're compliant. They're wearing their masks. They're going down the one-way hallways. They're remaining socially distant. We have a little bit of a different situation with our cafeteria, with 2 cafeterias this year, so that we can spread people out, allow them to eat. So really my hat's off to our students for coming back and for following the procedures, literally 100% compliant, and our teachers have just done an amazing job teaching both the face-to-face students and those students who have chosen to stay virtual. We're live streaming in the classrooms while we have a group of kids there face-to-face. So real pleased with where we are right now and the effort being put forth.
And as you see it, you mentioned the students. How important is it for the students to have that face-to-face contact, to be with your teachers, to, they're at home. They had that period at home where they realized, all right, it's now October 5th. We're coming in. I guess that joy, you see it, and they need that too.
Yeah, you talk a lot about the academic preparation, but there's also a piece of social emotional wellness, and we're social beings, and our kids want to be with each other. They want to talk to their friends. They want to get mentoring from their teachers, and that piece of it is so important, not only for our face-to-face kids who are in contact with our teachers on a daily basis, but also our virtual kids. This year we went to a synchronous model with live streaming, with Google Meets, and those kind of things for those kids. So that human-to-human interaction is such a critical piece, and it's such an important piece of the educational process.
You talk about live streaming. We started live streaming here in 2018 in the fall, and we've had over 25 students take part in just the announcing part. Brian has had other students, male and female, monitoring the cameras and pushing the buttons and everything else. But it's been going really, really well. We're ahead of the curve, and everybody's doing the live streaming now. Overall thoughts of how this program is going and what it means to Palisades.
It is simply outstanding, and when COVID-19 hit and we weren't allowed spectators at all these fall events, people looked to what did Palisades do last year? What did Palisades do the year before? Because it was really good, and we so appreciate your involvement and your leadership in this as a seasoned professional in the field to educate our kids in something that isn't necessarily a classroom course. We have a robust and lively video program, actually led by our athletic director, Mr. Gilbert. It's outstanding, and we're poised to kind of take the next step and give our kids career experiences in broadcasting, but also give them life lessons of communication, of effective speaking, of interacting with adults. And, just my hat's off to you. My hat's off to Mr. Gilbert, our school board, and our superintendent, Dr. O'Connell, for putting this all together and supporting this idea, which was really abstract at the time.
Right.
And now we look around District 11, and it's happening in a lot of places. And I know you're involved with some other things across District 11. We appreciate you keeping Palisades at the forefront and at the top of your priority list.
And no question about that. We're at the half meeting with Rich Heffernan, the principal here at Palisades High School. You got a big football game coming up on Friday. It's this big. It's not huge. It's monstrous. 5-0 against 4-1. You'll have some fans in the stands, make it a little bit different as well. But how excited are you to not only have the fans here for that game, but also have the community be able to see it through the live stream?
Absolutely. Number one, I'm excited for our kids and our football team and our band and our cheerleaders, all those groups of students who have been working so hard, literally since they got the green light in late June to come back and to start their off-season workouts. To be in a situation, week number 6 already for us, to be in such a highly competitive game against really a rival. Notre Dame and Palisades has become something you circle on the calendar early in the season because you know it's going to mean something at the end of the day.
Is it surprising when you look at it? Because I seem surprised. I was jealous for my brother because he's in Indiana, and he was 6 weeks in his games because they start so early in Indiana, and we didn't even get our first game in, and we're far along. I mean, and things are going well. Every day you look, you're like, okay, is everything going good? Are we good here? But, the athletes are on the field after what happened in the spring. The athletes are on the field, and that means that's a big difference.
You talk about teamwork and team effort, and it's really a group of people in the Palisades community working together to keep these student athletes on the field, to keep them safe, and to keep it moving forward. Our trainers are doing an amazing job making sure that kids are symptom-free. Our students are doing a great job of staying healthy and social distancing when they can. So all those kind of things are so important to continuing the ability to play and to move forward with your seasons. We've been very, very fortunate. We're going to continue to work hard to keep our kids safe and to give them an opportunity to compete and to enjoy their fall season and to make it as normal as possible because that's so important.
Rich, always a pleasure speaking to you. Enjoy the rest of this game, and I'm sure we'll see you on Friday for the football game.
You got it, Al. Great seeing you again.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Rich Heffernan, the principal here at Palisades High School, joining us here at the half. And we get things started here in the second half. Again, no score as if you're just joining us. Al DiCarlo alongside Gemma Amato and Audrey Sayer, both seniors here at Palisades High School. And obviously things got to change in the second half. So you guys had a chance to take a little breather, go out there and talk and stuff like that. you talk about the first half. Let's, first things first. And, Jim, I'll start with you. What did you take positively from Saucon Valley or from Saucon Valley first, and what do they have to do here to get a goal?
I definitely think Saucon Valley played very well in defense, especially since we had 4 or 5 corners, and the goalie did well and the defenders did well getting it out of the circle. Offensively, I think they're kind of running into us a lot, so passing and moving to get open is definitely something both teams need to work on.
And Audrey, talk about Palisades a little bit more and what you saw in the first half and what you want them or expect them to do here in half number 2.
Yeah, I think Palisades is really aggressive today, and I'd like just to see them to get a goal, just because they've been through a lot and experienced a lot throughout their games this season.
We'll see. There's a golden opportunity here for Saucon Valley to see if they can punch one, and that one gets through. And those are the ones that you don't want to get. You want to keep it alive and keep the offense moving and try to keep things going here. And they'll get another opportunity to do so, as they'll get a penalty corner for Casey Bruchak. We talked about the playoff implications, and we said, well, if it's a tie, what happens? Asked Athletic Brian Gilbert. He kind of gave me the old shook, let's wait and see what happens. Chance here, and that one knocked away. Good job here by the Pirates. Try to maintain possession. So coming out of the gate right away, it's Saucon Valley to start things off. They're the aggressor here, and I don't think it's surprising, because I think we said this before. Is the further along you get in this game, the more that you see, maybe take the opportunity, take some extra chances. But I think if anyone's going to have to take a chance as it goes a little bit further down, it's going to have to be Palisades, knowing they want to get that victory here. So that's the biggest difference for them. So underway, about 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. Shoemaker will try to send that one up, and that goes off the stick of Abigail Carey. Megan Kane bows for it, and Kane puts it in the spot. You said chase and go, Gemma, but sometimes chase and go, you want to make sure that someone's there.
Yeah, it's definitely important to look up before you pass, especially when you're trying to do a more chase and go scenario.
Shoemaker puts that one on the stick. You guys have been talking about the defense, and I've been really impressed. I mean, talking about these defense, they're on you. Like it's almost like a glue stick. They're like right on you right before you even have the chance. You'd think that Palisades is ready to do something, and then just like that, it's taken away from you.
I think that's why it's very important for Palisades to start passing more in this half instead of keeping it for longer, because Saucon's defense is doing really well, and they're coming up onto you quick.
They battle for this one. And maintain possession will be Saucon Valley as they send that one to the corner. Now the Pirates will get their opportunity. As we're 5 minutes into quarter number 3, no score. You're watching Palisades and Saucon Valley here on PSD TV. Al DiCarlo, Gemma Amato, Audrey Sayer. Thanks again to Rich Heffernan, the principal at Palisades High School, for joining us at the half, talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, school in session, football game on Friday, our live stream program here at Palisades, and so much more. Again, it's going to be interesting here what happens in the next, say, 72 hours with some field hockey games and who's in, who's not. Top 6 teams get in the Colonial League tournament. Again, these teams will be in the District 11 tournament. We'll look at that bracket in a little bit. And one team on the outside looking in right now is Moravian Academy, and they're a team that's always in the mix. We'll talk about them in a minute. Get a quick break. sometimes I hear so many whistles and I'm not sure what's what. And I know you guys are used to when you guys played. Sometimes when you heard whistles, did you know every time what the whistle was for?
Definitely not.
Okay. I feel better than about that. You know, you start hearing them and like, wait, whistle, whistle. Wait, what happened there? And then I see the high ball. I'm thinking, oh, that's a high stick, is it? No, okay. Another penalty corner. So that's 3, I believe, in this quarter alone. Quickly here at the 8:19 mark for Saucon Valley. I'll send that one back. And they keep it in play. I believe there was another whistle there, so they'll get another one. It'll be taken here by Bruchak. Looking for our first goal of the game. Sent back. And here's a golden opportunity because off the stick. And trying to pick that one back up was Katie Marker. And Marker has 12 goals on the season, so they want to get it to her. And she was in position for that shot. She just didn't get what she wanted there. But this is consecutive now. They've been down in this zone for about 4 minutes altogether. Trying to set this up on the turf. And they'll get a good shot here, an opportunity, and that one's wide of the net. So the first real opportunity came right there, and that one goes wide of the net and came off the stick of Leah Kramer.
Subbing in for Palisades, number 8, Sammy Trikel.
Sammy Trikel checks back in. Tempo, a little different you're seeing here in the second half. Either or. I mean, you've seen it. It is getting a little quicker.
Yeah, it definitely seems more fast-paced, and I think Saucon's definitely trying. They seem like they had a nice talk with their coach at halftime to get them motivated, and they definitely seem like they're holding more possession over Palisades.
Substituting in for Palisades, number 21, Angelia Rafalco.
You know, a young group when it comes to Palisades. I mean, a lot of these girls are just still juniors and sophomores. How important is it to the program? You know, when you're freshmen and you're playing, and the majority of your team's freshmen, you're losing games. But I always say, losing, provides winning at the same time. It leads to that because you get that experience. As they go for another penalty corner here, that experience helps out each and every time moving forward. Another penalty corner for the Panthers. Here with 5:17 on the clock. Well, that one was knocked away. Good job there. As it stays in front, a second opportunity, and that one kicked and steered away. Hannah Higgins is in net, I believe, the second half. So between Hannah Higgins and Alicia Donato, who started, combined 65 varsity saves in here. And if you're looking at the goal scorers, Ashley Amato has a goal and 2 assists. Ava Balliot has a goal and 2 assists. Abigail Carey has 7 goals and an assist. Sammy Trikel has a goal and 3 assists. Tori Bank has 2 goals and 2 assists. As we wait for another penalty corner. Angelina Day has 6 goals and 4 assists. Angelia Rafalco has a goal and an assist. And knocked away and pulled out. And here's a chance. There's a lot of space here on the field for Palisades as they move forward. And a good job here by Carey. Carey tries to hold on to it, and then we get a whistle. And taken right back. Anna Bernfine. Here's Magditch. Had it, lost it. and has some space if she can get around the defender. But that one is knocked right into the stick of Carrie Lennon. What's different when you're in a 0-0 game versus a 1-0 game? Whether you're down 1-0 or up 1-0, but 0-0 and you're in the third quarter, you're almost winding down the third quarter, still 3.5 minutes. You know, what are you thinking when you're on the field?
I think it gives you more momentum just because neither team has a goal yet, and it's just the team that wants it more will get it, or the team that's more offensive or defensive will get it.
Yeah, I definitely think this game is going to come down to who wants it more because it seems very evenly matched.
Here's Shoemaker. Now, I'm going to, ask you guys this question so you guys can ponder this as we go to the fourth. There's still 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so we could see a goal scored here in the 250. However, if there's not a goal scored, think about what's going to be said in that huddle, especially if you're Kim Donato, the head coach for Palisades, knowing that you need to win really to get in. How you're going to inspire your team to go out there in the fourth quarter and say, hey, this is what you got to get done. So 2:25 on the clock. Saucon Valley controlled a majority of this third quarter with, I believe it was 5 or 6 penalty corners. But, good job, in that by Hannah Higgins. Talked about Coach Donato and her daughter Alicia and John Donato on the football team, I believe. And I was doing the numbers today. I think he has 7 interceptions already this year, 5 to 7 interceptions. He had 3 in one game. You get a chance to see him on Friday night against Notre Dame. That'll be our next live stream here on PST TV. Did a great job so far this year. We had football with Wilson, boys soccer with Northwestern, girls soccer with Caddy, football with Salisbury, field hockey tonight, and then football with Notre Dame on Friday, and then next week against Palmerton. Going back to our first live streaming with the students, and we've had a bunch take part in not only field hockey and soccer, and we've had wrestling, we've had boys and girls basketball, and of course football. Be back out here with Ali Winskowski on Friday night. So 1:19 on the clock. What happened here?
Their sticks got intertwined, but I don't know what the ref is talking about.
So the clock stops here with the discussion. And they'll restart the clock. Or they don't yet. They will wait. I always say, if a field hockey official especially does not have a whistle, that could be a dangerous zone. She better be able to whistle herself. Final minute of the third quarter from Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. Magnets trying to battle at midfield. Check out the aggressiveness here by Saucon Valley as they battle. They have a chance to move forward here in the final 41 seconds, playing it up front. However, that will be Palisades' possession with 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Shoemaker gives that one a ride. So Palisades will have one last chance, again, with 10 seconds. As you always say, even if you get down there, you can create a penalty corner in the final seconds. Here's a big chance here, final seconds, and that one knocked away, still taking it, and the horn sounds. Well, you wait to the last few seconds to get that opportunity. You want to take some of that momentum going into the fourth quarter. So 3 complete here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. We'll come back with the final quarter when we return. It's 0-0 Palisades and Saucon Valley. Back after this on PSD TV. We are back here at Palisades High School. Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. Al DiCarlo, Gemma Amato, Audrey Sayer as we get ready to start quarter number 4. And, you know, last year, suddenly I beat Moravian Academy. This was the bracket from a year ago. Palisades lost a banger. And what does that mean? Well, one thing forward there as we get ready to start here, look at the past champions. Suddenly I banger, suddenly I, and then Moravian Academy had control of there for a while, you know, going through. So, you know, some of these teams, you got to go back to 2000 and 1997 for Saucon Valley, and Palisades back in 1996 controlled there. But, you know, those teams, suddenly I, Moravian Academy, are the ones that have really controlled it. And Moravian Academy is one of the teams on the outside looking in as we get ready to start quarter number 4, depending on what happens here. You know, we talked about, okay, playoffs, if you win, you're in, and I'll get back to that in a second. But, you know, a tie could be interesting. Again, if they go to a tie, they'll end up playing a 15-minute overtime period, but they'll go to 7v7, a little bit different. You talk about space and opportunity. That's when you get that space and opportunity. So underway here in quarter number 4. So the Pirates had some momentum at the end of that third quarter. We'll see if they can establish that here in the first couple minutes here in the 4th. And knowing they want to get that victory. Gemma, into the huddle you go. What was said there? What do you think was said for Palisades?
I definitely think she most likely explained how important the game was because they definitely seem a lot more driven to win. Kind of seemed like right away the offense started going, so that's really good. And we got a corner already.
Yep, corner, the opportunity, and that one taken and nowhere to go. As Abigail Carey had that one. They'll have another chance, and Magditch will keep that one alive. Good job here by the Pirates as they spin around and take the shot, and then we get a whistle. Again, and Audrey, you said this, you know, every time you take that penalty corner, it's a chance to score, and you want to put yourself in that position. And right now, Palisades is doing just that. Another chance as this one comes straight out. And Ballard in front. Players going down. And this one will be possession towards Saucon Valley. Just underway here in quarter number 4. But wow, what a difference. A little more fire here for Palisades to start the 4th quarter, Gemma.
Yeah, they definitely seem like they got a nice talking to in the huddle. They seem more driven to win. That's very good. And more offensive. It looks like most of their players are definitely pushed up. I feel like there was more back when they were on offense in the first 3 quarters, but I could be wrong.
I think you may be right here, and they're definitely pushing forward. And a chance here, knocking that one through is Angelina Day. And they'll get another opportunity here. So the first 3.5 minutes or so has been all Palisades. And interesting, I think it was the start of the 3rd quarter. Majority of the first few minutes were all Saucon Valley. So a big difference as we go to the 4th. Shoemaker all over the field. Coach talked about her taking charge, being a natural leader both on and off the field. Panthers now will try to establish something. This will be the first real possession here for the Panthers, and that's about 4 minutes in for those fans watching in Hellertown in Saucon Valley. Glad you could join us here on PSD TV. 0-0 with 10:55 on the clock in the 4th. Again, both of these two teams will make it into districts. Well, just as we said, Palisades had a couple penalty corners. Now all of a sudden you'll get one here for Saucon Valley. In the third quarter, I believe it was 6 or 7 penalty corners that Saucon Valley took, and there was maybe 4 in a row at one point. Takes a big shot, and they'll get another opportunity here. Zero zero. Palisades checking in at 6-4, 8-5 overall. The Panthers at 6-3, 6-3-1 overall. Kim Donato in her first year. MK Omdahl in her second year. Also coached a number of years at Liberty High School. Trying to weave it through. That one kicked away. A second opportunity. Great job. Diving on that one was Hannah Higgins. What did you think of the save and that opportunity for Saucon Valley?
It was definitely a good save by the goalie and the defense to get it out of there. Saucon is pressuring more right after we said Palisades was, so it's looking more even again.
I think, it's funny we talk about that because sometimes, you go and you match up, you do your thing, and next thing you know, they're speeding up, you're speeding up. And you have to go with the flow of the game. And now they're looking at the clock every now and then, and they're hearing it from the sidelines. Listen, we have to get one in here. But, sometimes now you get to the point where you're inside 9 minutes where is aggressive going to be too aggressive that you let one get behind you in a different way. And then I guess, anytime we talk about that, Audrey, that's always a possibility. The rest of his goal scorers, I was taking through. Magnich, we mentioned 8 goals and 5 assists. An assist for Riley Hobart, 3 goals and assists for Caitlin Shoemaker. And we mentioned the combined goal saves coming into tonight by Higgins and Donato at 65. Well, that one trickles out of bounds. Take a look at the district standings. So Northwestern, Moravian Academy, Saucon Valley, Palisades, and Palmerton all in. That is the 1A classification, and then we'll see what happens from there. But they know they'll be in the districts. The question is, what's going to happen in the Colonial League and who's going to be in that 6-team tournament. And right now, Palisades needing a win and trying to get an in with a win tonight against Saucon Valley. Again, Friday night, a big game here between Notre Dame and Palisades. First place battle between those two teams. Should be hopping in here. And we're down to 7 minutes on the clock. For the first time in about 4 minutes, really, Palisades is back on the attack. This ball just sits there, and that's where it's dangerous. Anytime it's waiting there, and they'll get a penalty corner out of it. When you see that ball trickle a little bit, you're always like, all right, what's going to happen there? And the key is you want to get a penalty corner out of it, and that's exactly what that's what they got. So penalty corner will take in here from the near side. Down to 6:30 on the clock. They send this one back. And that one knocked away. Good job defensively again by the Panthers. And Saucon Valley will take over. We've been talking about, maintaining possession and doing so. But, the stick work by a lot of these players has been tremendous, really, in the first 3 quarters. Both teams not getting that opportunity, as Ashley Amato gives it to Morgan Magdich, to pass 2 or 3 times. And I think, you guys both said it before. It's a combination of really good defense, which I think we're seeing tonight, really good defense. And, you guys want to see more passing, but at the same time, that defense is, and they always say defense wins, games and wins championships. And I think we're seeing a great defensive display by both teams tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Being defensive in a game is very important because it keeps the other team from scoring, and it heightens your motivation to win a game.
They played to the far side. Another whistle, Gemma. What happened there?
I think what happened was the person hitting the ball, you're supposed to move 5 feet when you're inside the 25-yard line. And I think because she passed it right away, that they gave the ball to Saucon.
So 5 minutes on the clock in regulation. Again, change things up a little bit. If they go to the overtime, it'll be 1 overtime, 15 minutes sudden death, 7v7. Now 3-on-3 coming the other way for Saucon Valley as they got some numbers. Moving through the defense. The Panthers with a huge chance here as they get that one to Katie Marker. And when you get towards this time, 4 minutes, we talked about this earlier, you get 8 chances in those final 3 minutes. Well, we're at 4 minutes, but, this is a big, big play off the penalty corner for Saucon Valley. They've done a good job on Marker this year, this game. Again, she's got 12 goals coming in, and we're at the 4-minute mark. They didn't get the shot they wanted there. Good job defensively by Palisades. They'll try to steer it upfield. And that one almost taken away. Good chance here for the Pirates. Gemma, how frustrating is that? You have kind of a break, a little transition, and it gets taken away from you that quick.
It's definitely frustrating. The whistles in field hockey was definitely something to adapt to. I played soccer before field hockey in high school, so it was definitely different in that aspect. A lot of stopping and going again.
You guys play other sports here at Palisades?
Yeah, I'm a cheerleader, and I actually joined the soccer team again last week.
And Audrey, how about you?
I haven't played a sport since my sophomore year, but I'm planning to play softball again my senior year.
Okay. So you guys are both seniors. College endeavors, what are you guys looking to major in? Gemma, we'll start with you.
I'm looking to major in aerospace engineering, which is definitely a big field.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of going into nursing. I don't know what nursing I want to go into yet, though.
Well, get you prepared here as you decide what you want to do and where you want to go. And Gemma, for you, you're part of the robotics team as well. Take us through that a little bit and how that works.
Yeah, it's a 6-week build season. We have about like 25 to 30 members this year. Everyone focuses on building the robot. There's also people that focus on like the business side, fundraising and everything. Yeah, it's just a really good opportunity if you're interested in the engineering with competitions and everything. I enjoy it a lot, and I think a lot of kids do.
That's great. Down to 2 minutes on the clock as they wind down the clock. Gets a little bit more interesting here. And you see the extra urgency in the final 2 minutes of regulation. A chance here. This one out in front. And that one kicked away by Albano and knocked away. Again, you don't want to give an opportunity here in the final 140. And Palisades is going to do anything they can to knock on the door. That one at midfield, and it'll be possession here for Saucon Valley now with under 1:30 to play. Now overtime is lingering. Again, we talked about you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be over-aggressive. Well, now if you're Palisades, you got a minute to really keep the ball down here and just really go for it. And just as they say that ball is taken away, and they'll get it right back. So they'll get it back with about 55 seconds left. Be sent in by Ava Balliot. Over to Abigail Carey. And here's Megan Kane. Kane had it. That one taken away. She still battles for it. Good job by Kane. As she goes back and forth with Balliet. Final 30 seconds. Maybe one last effort here for Saucon Valley. Final 13 seconds. The last thing you want is a penalty corner. They don't get it here. Instead, it's taken away by Palisades. They get the possession. This one will trickle out, and here are the horn. So 4 quarters of 15 minutes, not enough, and we're here at Walter T. Rohrer Stadium. We go to overtime. Again, a lot on the line for both of these teams. We talked about Palisades. We'll talk about Saucon Valley as well and what it means to them moving forward. When we get back, you're watching Colonial League Field Hockey on PSD TV. 0-0 your score. Back after this. We are back. 4 quarters, not enough as we go to overtime between these two teams. Saucon Valley will start with possession in the overtime period. And again, they'll play 15 minutes, 7v7 with sudden death. And it makes this game a little bit different because it make it a little quicker, number one, but it'll make a lot more space, number two, Audrey. And, it's a big difference when you're out there and you see, we've been talking about chase and go, and now you'll be able to do that and have it a little bit more open.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like it's more stressful on the players, especially in my experience. I was a mid, and midfielders do a lot of running. And when it's a 7v7, that is a lot more running, even like from the actual game when there's more players on the field.
And Gemma, we had talked in between, obviously it's a little bit different because you're used to having more players on the field. On the field, a little bit different because you got to pick which ones you want to put out there.
Yeah, I definitely think it's important for Donato to choose the best players she possibly can to put on the field, and it's definitely going to be hard for her to pick. I think every player in Palisades right now is doing really good, especially Morgan Magnich is able to carry the ball very well. And hopefully she's out here.
Boys soccer, a winner today. They beat Palmerton by the score of 8-3. Interesting as we look at both teams as they get set up here. Again, 15 minutes. And to see what happens to start. Again, we've taken each quarter. I use that term sometimes, even Steven. It really has been an even type of game. And that's why we're at 0-0, right, for the most part. So coming in, again, Colonial League standings, 8-0 for Southern Lehigh. Bangor at 8-3, Northwestern at 8-3. Saucon Valley right now at 6-3. They're in the 4th spot. If they win and they get the 7th win, and, Palmerton's sitting there at 7-4. They'll be right there in the 4 seed, and then that will sit with Palisades and Moravian Academy eyeing up the number 6 spot with it. Palisades at 6-4, Moravian Academy at 6-4, Wilson at 6-5. They're out of the tournament, so it's 7 teams trying to get to 6. A little bit different. Again, if a win today, there's different scenarios because Southern Lehigh still has to play. Well, this is interesting because they lined up on opposite sides. Now you're going to get your goalies tired to go across. Southern Lehigh still has to play Saucon Valley. And depending on what happens there, it can move Saucon Valley in a different position. So Palisades can get in, can get the 6, can get the 5, depending on what happens. And first things first, you want to see if you can get a victory if you're Palisades. And if you're Saucon Valley, you know that if you get the win, you're sitting pretty as you get ready for the Colonial League tournament, which gets underway, we believe, on Tuesday. Last word was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the tournament and the championship. Underway here in overtime. Again, first goal will win this one. Gemma, start with you. Overall thoughts of the game to this point, and then Audrey, you can follow in your thoughts.
I definitely think it's going well for both teams. Like we've said the whole time, defense is looking good. Offense for both teams is pretty decent, but I think that's where they need to pick it up if they want to score. And I think it's just going to be which team picks up their offense first is who's going to win this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Gemma. It's been very offensive and defensive on both teams. For Palisades, I think their passing has been very well, especially their drives, since they can get it up the field. But I feel like they could do more pressuring on the other team.
How about, again, there hasn't been that much of this, but if you do get a chance, especially now you're in the overtime, if you do get a chance to put one on the cage, how important is it, to be there and be ready, knowing that, these chances have been hard to come by, but to be in front of that cage, knowing that that could be the game-winning goal.
Yeah, I think it's very important, especially in overtime, because I feel like the coach will definitely pull you if you're not playing good. So players should be charging the goalie and on the post when there's a shot. It's very important.
This one trying to be controlled by Palisades, and they will get the opportunity here. So from the far side of the field in overtime. That was a dangerous ball. A good job of getting that one back. And here comes Palisades the other way. Again, we talk about it. It's so much more space. And here's the chance now, 2-on-1. And picked up here by the Panthers. And that's Megan Kane. We got a whistle.
Yeah, corners are definitely going to look different with 7v7. I
Wow.
don't know how this is going to work.
So here's Engelhardt. So Engelhardt will take it. Only a sophomore. So 11 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. We're in overtime. Engelhardt sends it back. They move it across. Weaving through the defense, and a chance here, and that one is a goal. They moved it around on a couple occasions and then gets the goal. And I didn't get the number on the goal scorer, but a huge victory there for Saucon Valley. So Sophie Engelhardt, we just mentioned she took the penalty corner. Girls, we were just talking about that. You know, she took the penalty corner and then got back in front and had the rebound to put it back in. Obviously, a really, really tough loss for Palisades. And it comes with 11:13 left in overtime on the goal by Engelhardt. Girls, your thoughts here, how this one ended?
I thought it was a very good game. Both teams were very experienced and had both offense and defense were very well as well.
Yeah, I just think it came down to Saucon had the opportunity first, and I feel like if Palisades would have had a corner opportunity, they might have been able to get a goal, but Saucon played more offensive to start, and that obviously paid off, and they scored.
How'd you enjoy being in the booth?
I liked it. I would definitely do it again.
A little different watching a game from this far up high and in the booth versus it is being in the stands.
Yeah, definitely different.
I think you have more of a perspective up here because you can see the entire field and where all the players are and where the ball is better than when you're in the bleachers.
Well, great job tonight again. Final score comes in overtime. Sophie Engelhardt scores with 11:13 in the OT. Saucon Valley wins this one by a score of 1-0. We'll be back at it again on Friday night for football action. It'll be Palisades taking on Notre Dame. That'll do it for tonight. For Gemma Amato, for Audrey Sayer, for Brian Gilbert, Rich Heffernan also joined us. I'm Al DeCarlo saying so long. We'll see you back at it on PSD TV on Friday night for football. Final score once again 1-0 in favor of Saucon Valley. Have a good night.